Happy Saturday morning. Little gray, overcast, rain in the forecast, but it's not raining now. So I'm going to bust out to the garden. It's March 19th, 2 days after St. Patrick's Day. It's traditionally time to get the peas in the ground, as well as maybe a couple of other things. Still too early for a lot, but there's a few things you want to get in now. So let's take a look at these seeds, and then we'll head out to the garden. Okay, got a bunch of seeds. Some of these are left over from last year, so they don't always germinate perfectly. But I got some new stuff, so let's see what we got. It's Saturday the 19th, 2 days after St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is traditionally when the peas go in, as long as you can get in the ground. Some years there's been snow on the ground and you have to wait. I got some shell peas, some sugar peas, and then these in here. I hate when this happens because I got a bunch of loose pea seeds and I don't really know which ones they were, but maybe I'll make a separate row of mystery peas and see what happens. So we're definitely putting our peas in today. Now what else can go in today? I've got all different kinds of lettuces, but I think I might start those in trays. Radish can go in the ground today. These French breakfast radish have become one of my new favorites. Love, love, love. And let's see, I had picked up some new seed packs and can definitely go with the spinach, okay? So we'll head out to the garden. We'll put in some peas, some French breakfast radish. Oh, got these multicolored beets. What you do is you check your seed pack, right? And it tells you when to start. Sow seed outside as soon as soil can be worked. That soil's ready to be worked. So that's a nice bunch of planting for March 19th on an overcast morning. Let's go put these seeds in the ground. Come on. Let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Let's head on over. Also want to try and get that greenhouse finished this weekend. Just got to get the roof on. This is easily one of my favorite moments of the year. Late winter, moving into spring. Get the fork out and first break the ground. We had some rain, so it's nice and wet, but not too wet to plant seeds in. It's the perfect morning for getting these things in the ground. Here comes some chickens. You might see them in the background. I've been leaving the gate open so they can come in, pick at some worms and shit all over the place. Great fertilizer, but as soon as I get these seeds in, the door gets shut and they're out for the season. You won't grow anything with chickens around. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is start breaking the ground. I do what's a combination, it's sort of like based on the no-till method, all right? I don't get a tiller out. I just break the top, say 8-10 inches and turn it. And any leftover root systems from last year are going in the barrow. We want nice clean soil to plant in. Have fun now, because you're out. Okay, so as I mentioned, it's sort of a no-till method. We're not going down, 18, 20 inches. I'm just turning the top few inches of soil. The top soil and the subsoil have a very different structure. So we don't want to bring up too much of the subsoil. Just want to loosen the topsoil, get some air in there, nice friability. Friability, F-R-I-A-B, not Y as in calamari, okay? Friability, oxygen. So I will continue digging my rows, and I'm going this way this year. Last year the rows went this way. I'm just changing it up for the soil structure and just the aesthetics of the garden look. And then I'll get some compost. We'll scatter some nice finished compost on top, and then we'll put our seeds in. So I'll dig these rows, and then we'll get planting. All right, here I am at the entry gate. You can see by the color differential, I turned about a quarter, 25% of this thing from end to end, lengthwise. The girls are going to town. Soil is absolutely beautiful this year. Usually I try to plant winter rye in the fall and then turn it in. I didn't do it this year. Nonetheless, soil's gorgeous. And this is what came out. And that's going to be a fantastic addition to the compost heap. So let's head over to the compost. We'll dump this and we'll bring some back. All right, I'll turn that once more with the fork, and then we'll bring that over to the garden. See you back over there. All right, so what I want to do now is feed my rows. So I'll take some of this compost. I'm going to go about a foot to 18 inches away from the fence. Just put a little dressing on top. Oh, look what I found. Hey, Laura. Must have made its way into the compost. Bring that back in. So I'm going to go all the way across with my little dressing, and then I'll go from here about a foot to 18 inches here, and I'll make 2 rows. In between them and up against the fence, I got a big pile of wood chips over there on the other side of that fence, and those come in handy. So I'm going to mulch between the rows with the wood chips. That keeps the soil nice and warm, helps keep weeds out. So I got a bunch to do here. I'll show you the finished thing just before we put the seeds in. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Bonus, man. I forgot that I had reconstructed the compost pit last year. I think we did an episode on that, didn't we? And I moved it to make way for the chicken yard, and I totally forgot that on the other side was all this gorgeous finished compost. Much more finished than what we just pulled out. So I'm going to finish these rows with this, with a little more top dressing. This soil is going to be rich and ready to grow in. I'll dress with this, and then come with me over to the wood pile. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Tell you what else I love this time of the year. Between the garden fork, this shovel, the wheelbarrow, this beats the hell out of a gym membership. You know, every winter I put on that lazy 10. I'll have it off in 3 weeks. I'll say it again. Better than any gym membership money could buy. I went over, I got the wood chips, another barrel or 2, mulched out between the rows against the fence. I got another 2 wheelbarrows of that beautiful, finished, forgotten compost behind what's now the compost heap. I forgot about the old one. So let's have a look at the rows. I haven't even had breakfast yet. I've been out here a couple hours already. Came out around 8:30. It's 10:40. I'm hungry. So let's look at the rows, and I'm going to take a little break, and we'll seed in, I don't know, an hour or 2. No hurry now. It's perfect. Overcast. Let's go in and have a look. So here you can see I'm standing in the mulch between 2 rows, okay? You don't want to walk where you're going to plant. So that's the beauty of it. And you can see I took the compost, made my rows, and I hilled them up a little. So they're like little hump hills going the entire length of the garden with mulch out against that fence, the wood chips, and mulch in here. Okay, and this wood chip mulch is fantastic because it's been in that pile now for a year, so that's breaking down on its own. So that'll feed the soil. This garden prep is a lot of work, but it's going to pay off with happy little seedlings. All right, breakfast time for me. I'll see you back here in a bit. Well, we knocked off just before noon. Got those rows prepped in the garden, and Boy, did I have a day. It's 5:30 p.m. now. So let's go plant some seeds. All right, there she blows from over here in the garden. I think I'll wrap that tomorrow. But let's get to planting. So as you can see, we got our nice hills with the mulch in the middle. Okay, we're going to start way down at this end. You can see I've got a big stake in the ground here to show me where my row is. Kind of glad I waited till late in the day here. Got that beautiful twilight light coming in. All right, let's start with the peas. I'm going to go, I mean, these are, I think, from last year. Who knows if they're going to even germinate. But I'm going to go down from this corner with the little snow peas. So I got a stick here, right? Just going to make myself a little trench. And as I was telling you, your little seed pack tells you everything you need to know. Outdoors in March whenever weather allows. Oh boy, it's allowing today. Seeds 1.5 inches apart in rows 2.5 feet apart. Cover with 1/2 inch of soil, well pressed down. 1.5 inches apart. So let's do it. I'm going to go a little more than that. Peas, they take up space. They throw those leaves up. I'm going 2-3 inches between seeds. And I'll go all the way down here. Usually I like to do peas every 2 weeks, like I would plant some and then plant more. But I'm going to put all of these in now because, again, they were older seeds. And I don't know how well all of them are going to take. Can always get another pack in 2 weeks. Okay, this guy here is my last seed in the row. So I'm going to put a stick here. And then we'll move down this way and start putting in our shell peas, which are my absolute favorite. Reese ABC, rice and peas, and I'll go with the 1.5, 2 on these. All right, peas are in. Okay, now what I'm doing is going down the row, poking them. Communicate with your seed pack. It'll tell you everything you want to know. And then give it a good pat. You don't want to tighten the soil. Well, you do want to tighten it. You don't want to make it too compact, but you want to tighten it down a little. Keep those birds from grabbing your seed before it has a chance to do anything. All right, time for the spinach. Spinach seeds are much smaller than the peas. They're not as tiny as, say, lettuce or anything. This is Bloomsdale, long-standing. And so instead of like the peas doing individuals, I'm just going to kind of like sprinkle them in, and I'll tell you why. With any of these greens, lettuce, arugula, there's nothing like those little tiny, you have to thin out the row, okay? So I plant way more than I need, and then as the thinnings come in, you get those baby greens. Nothing like it, all right? So I'll go about halfway across with the spinach, and then we'll do the other half with the beets. Okay, same deal with beets. I'm going to finish this pack because this is from last summer. So let's just do it now. The beets are about the same size as the spinach seeds, but same deal. Beet greens are amazing. So I'm just going to broadcast across the row. And then I'll be pulling some greens as they come up and let some of them go to full root to beets. All right, let's pack it down. Not bad, it's not even spring yet. We've got beets, 2 kinds of peas, and the spinach. Now, French breakfast radish. These things are amazing, okay? Only have a few seeds left. Ooh, I actually have a lot left. What I'm going to do with these, radish is what I call an intercrop. You can plant it just in and among everything else because they grow so fast. But what I'm going to do, if you see I have this stick here, 1 in each row. That's as far as the peas came, as far as the beets came. So a nice little chunk of the rows we prepped going to the fence. So I'm going to make a little standalone radish patch right here. And these are small seeds. I'm going to space them out a little. I don't want to crowd them. Radish greens are also awesome, but these radish themselves are just too precious. So there we go. Pat it down. I'm considering this a hella productive Saturday. Greenhouse, we got 2 peas in, we got spinach in, we got beets in, nice little radish patch. Time for supper, call it a night. Might just get on that couch and chill. A lot of wheelbarrows today, pitchforking, dirt. I'm gonna sleep tonight. Thanks for hanging for the episode. We'll see you for the next one. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's